Hi, welcome back to another weekly garden update. Now, I post these every week on Preparation Day. The idea here is for other gardeners in the area to kind of be able to see what's going on here, compare it to your garden, and we can hopefully learn from each other. So if anyone's gardening in Zone 8B in Texas, preferably in the College Station area, I'm here out in Grimes County, please leave a comment, reference your videos so I can go learn from you too. Anyways, let's go see what's going on. Let's start over at this end. We've been getting stupid hot temperatures, and the chili peppers, as you can see there, I've got one that needs to be harvested, are about the only thing that's producing in the garden. If I step back, all these other buckets there, and there's two over there, are tomato plants, and while they're not completely dead, they are having a lot of leaves wither. I don't know what causes this. All of my tomatoes are doing it. If somebody knows, please leave a comment, because basically it's like it's fine out through there, and then the leaves just wither at the ends. Over here, this next set of buckets, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 are moringa trees. These are Filipino trees. The fruit on these is edible, and so are the leaves. And with the heat and the water restrictions, I'm guessing they haven't been getting as much water as they should, because they're starting to turn yellow. I need to fertilize out here, though. The next bed, this beautiful green lush area, is all sweet potatoes. We basically took, I think, 4 sweet potatoes that we got at HEB, made slips off them, planted the slips, and it just expanded to fill this garden bed halfway across, and it's taking over what's left of the onions and seems to be slowly extending. Sweet potatoes are definitely a summer crop here in Texas, and one of the few things that'll grow in the summer. The other thing that will grow, if we walk over this bed, those plants, you can look, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, yeah, 4, are okra. They're kind of our other summer crop. Those don't mind the heat and will just keep growing. The onion patch, we've slowly been picking as needed for cooking. Next year I'm going to put down an entire raised bed of onions. Oh, hey, rocks. Let's just get this and this out of the garden. Over here at this end, this was originally some kind of squash, or I don't know, my wife planted it. When those got pulled up for being unproductive, I just put down some strike beans. These are bush beans. Beans are good for the soil. They'll essentially, they attract a fungus on the roots, which will add nitrogen to the soil if they get big enough. So I'm using these partially as a cover crop. You know, if I get green beans, great. If not, it didn't cost me much because I already had the seed. I'm using old seed, so as you can see, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, yeah, 6 bean plants. There probably should be like 10 or 20 in that area. They just did not germinate well. If I look over here, what we've got, you can see these plants with the really yellowing leaves. Those are eggplant, and they're not doing very well. The eggplant I've planted, I'll show you some more in a second, in this area has just not thrived. So I'm probably not going to do that again next year. And over here we have a mystery pepper. I have no idea what that pepper plant is. In the back we've got another tomato. At the end I've got 2 chard plants. Chard seems to be doing really well for me at the moment. Those chard over there, I actually moved here from Austin with. Those are almost 2 years old. You basically just cut the leaves off and use them as salad greens. I've been dehydrating them. So dehydrated, they seem to last about a year, and they're really easy to add to things as you're cooking. Actually, I need to get rid of this leaf because he's shadowing a pepper. That's a bell pepper, as is this one, and as you can see, I'm starting to get fruit off it. But these are my wife's bell peppers. She's been managing these. So they're not huge fruit, but they're fruit. And down there I got ants. I got to spray for ants. And I also got grass growing everywhere in here because I haven't been keeping up on weeding. Okay, do that later. Now, this next bed is a mix of Thai chilies and Serrano chilies. And over there at the end of that bed, what was planted was labeled as habaneros and jalapenos. They're probably banana peppers, not jalapenos. And the wind tends to come right across from that nice open area between me and the neighbor and blows the pollen all over the place. And these are all cross-pollinating. So, like, this first set of peppers off this plant were Serranos, and very clearly Serranos. And now if you look at what that is, it's got the coloring of a banana pepper and it's pointed straight up, like a Tabasco or some Asian peppers. This one, I think, was originally Thai chilies, and as you can see down there, it's turning into growing something that resembles a Serrano. That's got a bunch of peppers on it. You can see one, two. They'll turn fully red when they ripe, and you can see a bunch of peppers through there. Whew, this is going to be spicy. That's a lot of peppers. These are about 100 to 200 Scoville peppers. To put that in scale, normal grocery store Tabasco sauce is about 5,000 Scovilles. And if we go over here, we've got some more weirdness. Like, these are habaneros. They should be bright orange, and instead they're yellow. This one might turn yellow. Normally they're green, and then they turn orange. Sorry. And there we've got a banana pepper that's turning orange. Also, they should be yellow. Same thing there, and they're kind of short. So my peppers are all cross-pollinating, and it's kind of mystery pepper. Step through here. This whole area is cherry tomatoes, and as you can see, I'm getting a little bit off it still. They're starting to bloom again. For a while they weren't blooming at all. I'll pick those later. So I'm mostly just trying to keep these alive until the fall. And as I said, I've got a bunch of this dead stuff that needs to get pruned off. You can look in there. There's a bunch of dead stuff. It's also noting, I mentioned the wind coming across that empty field. If you look over at... Oh, I gotta move. If we look over there, you can actually see the wind has basically just blown all of this stuff over. Like that's growing at about a 45-degree angle, probably even sharper angle. Yeah, it's closer to 60 degrees. Go over to the next bed. Now, this was intended to be my tomato bed. Tomatoes, normally they'll say they like full sun. In Texas, they like a little shade because our full sun is pretty bright and intense. And I'm out here at 7 in the morning doing this with grass clippings. Unfortunately, my tomato seedlings, when I started them from seed, didn't do too well. So I ended up with a couple gaps in here. And before I could get more tomato seedlings started, my wife planted eggplant in here. So now I've got a bunch of eggplant, and the eggplant just are not doing well. Like, I have gotten a few fruit if you look in there, but that doesn't look like something you want to eat. That's kind of nasty yellow. So I think I've gotten two or three fruit that we've actually eaten out of what? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants. So we're probably not going to do that again. Though it's starting to flower. If you look in there, eggplant do produce nice, pretty purple flowers. Okay. And over here are my 2 blueberry bushes. One there and one over there. They haven't produced very well. Part of it is because over there I've got a bunch of woods, and that's full of birds who will eat my blueberries and my tomatoes. They leave the peppers alone. But these haven't been doing well with being over 100 degrees for about 3 weeks now. So I don't know if those are going to live or not. They should survive the winter if they can survive the summer. And if we go over here, we have the calamansi tree. This is a Filipino lime tree. It doesn't look too bad because it just got watered last night. it seems to be doing okay as long as we water it regularly. I'm not sure how it's going to do for this winter, though. And that tree is almost 2 years old. And it's like, for scale, there's my foot. It's maybe 16 inches tall at the tallest. It's not a tall tree. But anyways, that's kind of what's going on in the garden this week. If you don't garden, you probably should. Frankly, I know a lot of people who are into emergency preparedness focus on guns, and don't get me wrong, they're kind of important. If you need one, you need it. But at the same time, every single person who's watching this video is going to need to eat today. So, learn how to produce food. And besides, you get to wear a cool hat when you do it.